Well, hello there, and happy anniversary to me. This marks my sixth year in real estate. I was in real estate before between 2002 through 2006. Couldn't make it work financially. I was a single mom and left real estate and went and got a real job. And then fast forward, the Lord would have me come back into real estate. And I just believe in real estate, all things real estate. And so you might be wondering, well, what are you seeing right now? What I am seeing is more people are renting now more than ever, and there is a lack of home ownership. But I want to change that. Like, regardless of, I heard this. Shout out to Marcus. Marcus said, the one thing that you will never get is a letter from your landlord with your rent going down. And I just thought that was an incredible statement. So that's what you will not receive. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I'm seeing today is a lack of being proactive, a lack of let's plan for the future, let's look ahead. And I know God got us and He's in control, but there are some things that we need to do as well. And so a lack of proactiveness. But I want to help you to be proactive. And then what's different? Here's what's not different. When I first got my house in 2002, my interest rate was 7%. You got pre-qualified for whatever the amount was, and you bought a house where you could afford to buy. And that's what I want to encourage you as well. Get pre-qualified, and even if they say no, ask them what you need to do in order to get qualified for a dollar amount. I got qualified for $89,000 in 2002. And I personally just loved houses where the brick of the house matched the brick of the garage. And I was driving around a neighborhood, shout out to Wendy who lived in Shively, about the ugliest, stinkiest, junkiest house in a really good neighborhood. And even then, I told my real estate agent, let's offer them $89,000. Let's ask them to pay 3% toward my closing costs. And she said, they're not going to accept that. But guess what? They accepted it, and I still own that house to this day. So don't be afraid of getting the ugliest, stinkiest, nastiest, smelliest house in a really good, and even if it's not, every neighborhood is turning around. Most neighborhoods are turning around, and it's going, as long as you have a place to live, that's what you need to focus on. Far too many people are homeless, and I'm not going to go into that, but I don't want you to be homeless. Let's just leave it there. So what needs to change? We need to be, like I said, proactive and look ahead and make some adjustments now in order to make sure that our futures don't catch up with us and blindside us. How can we do that? Well, I have a method for how I want you to do that, or how I'm going to help people to achieve that. It's called the D.A.N.A method, and I will go more into that in another video. But for right now, I want you to realize, I want to help you to, if you are currently in a house, and chances are if you bought that house 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago, you have what's called equity in that house. What is equity? Equity is the difference between what your house is worth versus how much you owe. And you might not even know what your house is worth, because if you bought it 30 years ago, it's worth a lot more than what you paid for. Because chances are, I'll use myself as an example. In 2002, I paid $89,000 for my house. Fast forward to today, 2026. If I were to put that house on the market today, I probably would put it on the market for about $250,000. So the difference between, and I owe probably about 110. There's some other issues with that, but, and so the 250 minus the 110 is $140,000. So potentially I have $140,000 of equity in that house. And you're like, why is that important? You can take that equity. So whatever, and you can ask me, reach out to me if you're like, hey, now I'm kind of curious about what my house is worth. Reach out to me. I can help you with that. What your house is worth minus how much you owe, that equity amount. You're like, what can I do with that? Well, here's what you can do with that. Number one, you potentially can use some of that equity to buy rental property. If you're like, you know what, I want to diversify my retirement portfolio. I don't want to put all of my eggs in the 401k basket. I would love to have some real estate to complement that and then get some income now because I got rental property. That's one thing that you could potentially do with your equity. Secondly, maybe you're like, you know what? We only live on the first floor of our house. And the second floor, we have no idea what goes on up there, and we don't have any idea what goes on in the basement because our laundry is on the first floor. How about taking the equity and buying a patio home? Here's what you may or may not know. What if you could use the equity in your house and use it as a down payment for your patio home or for your ranch home or for that home wherever? Maybe you want to buy a house in the Highlands in a more walkable neighborhood because you want to start getting out more. You want to be able to just walk to brunch or just walk and get something to eat or just walk and get coffee. Maybe you are not in a walkable neighborhood. Whatever the case may be, how about we use that equity to help solve some of your problems that you didn't even know you had? Like, you've been wanting this and you didn't know how to do it. Well, let's have a conversation so that we understand how much equity you have in your house and potentially what you can use the equity for. And lastly, I'm going to leave you with this. One of the reasons why I love real estate so much too is because real estate gives you options. Like right now, you have a house and it's worth a lot of money. Now you know, hey, I potentially can use some of the equity in order to buy something else. Maybe you want to start a business, whatever. You are sitting on gold and you don't even realize it. So let's have a conversation so that I can help you achieve your real estate goals or the goals you didn't even know you had using the real estate, the equity that you already have to achieve your goals, whether that's investment property, whether that's getting all on one level because you're buying a patio home, regardless of what your goals are. Maybe you got a lot of debt. Maybe you have a tremendous amount of debt and you would love to be able to pay your credit cards off, and your interest rate, even at watch this, even at 7%, it's still a far better rate than your credit cards. Because chances are your credit card is 22, 23, it may even be 29%. So it may be a smart decision for you to pull out some of the equity in your house and pay off your debt and then start breathing again, because now you only have one payment because you consolidated. I don't know what's going to be best for you, but let's have a conversation to see how you can use your equity today to achieve your real estate goals. So there we are. Happy 6th anniversary to me, and give me a call. I would love to have a conversation with you to help you to achieve your real estate goals, because real estate gives you options. Give me a call, 502-599-0249. That's my direct mobile number, or my business line is 941-326-D.A.N.A or 941-326-3262. Give me a call.